Hey everybody, it's Ken Perry with Broker Knowledge Group, and I appreciate you taking the time to find out a little bit more about who we are and what we do. What I'm going to give you in this short video is the background of Broker Knowledge Group. I want to give you what makes us quite a bit different than everybody else you're going to experience. And then finally, I'd like to show you some of the video clips that we use in our both live and internet training. So that's my goal for the next little bit, and I appreciate you taking the time. First off, who are we? Well, in 2003, I was an account executive for a major lender. And I looked around at my loan originators, and I had felt this for a long time, but I looked at my loan originators and I went, you know, these guys just have enough to be dangerous, or they don't have enough even to be dangerous, and they're gonna fail. And so I went out there and I started a company in April of 2003 that would train brand new originators and really show them how to be successful in the business by, you know, how do you read a credit report? How do you calculate income? How do you submit to a lender? What is subprime? What is the economic environment? Well, that was the beginning of what we did back in 2003. Early on, in June of 2003, I was asked to speak at a seminar that wouldn't happen until September. And I said, well, what do you want me to speak on? And they said, well, we'd like you to speak on a federal law. And I was like, well, great, which one? Because I had never read them. I had heard about them, but I didn't know what they were. And they said, the do not call laws. And I said, well, they're about to be implemented. Let's do that. Well, I read the do not call laws, and that was the first law. And I will never forget sitting down and realizing I love reading laws. And then when I did that seminar, I realized I really love delivering this information in a way that people can comprehend it, understand it, and then not violate it. And so that really launched the compliance side of Broker Knowledge Group to a place where now we have a class on almost every federal law in existence. What makes us different than everybody else? I wrote every class. Every single class we do that is on a federal law, either I've interviewed somebody online so that we could show that to you and have the expert teaching you, or I've dissected that law, read it, and then put it in a place where I could actually deliver it to you. A lot of other training companies hire subject matter experts, and when they come out and deliver the information, they're not the one who wrote the class. Well, we do all our own tricks. So I write all the classes, research all the laws, and then stay sharp on all of my laws. Unfortunately, I'm called a geek quite a bit because I enjoy sitting down, reading laws, and then helping our clients. We're a resource for our clients because we don't believe we just sell them a bunch of CE, tickets. We believe that we partner with our clients, mainly our larger companies. We partner with them to make sure their originators get the training that they both need and deserve as part of this industry. So we've seen a lot of people since I started this company not do it right and end up either going to jail, which we've seen, or get fined by the government, or they have a really painful examination. So what we do, we partner with people, we deliver it in a different way. In addition to doing our own tricks, there's some cool stuff in that we bring humor to the classroom. Most of our classes involve some sort of dancing. We bring music before every class, and this is for our live stuff. We bring music so that we can have dancing if somebody's phone rings. I mean, we have all kinds of really fun rules that we implement with our live training. I still love doing live training over anything else. What I have transitioned to now is video training. Last year we sat down and said, we're the best live training company in America. How do we then become the best internet training company in America? And so we completely dove into this internet environment. We've launched our training.brokerknowledge.com website. The training site is internet hours, and so typically it's either your 8 hours of NMLS comprehensive, or we've added our Oregon, our Washington, our Idaho, some other states. We've added all those into the system so that those who couldn't reach me live could actually just grab that stuff on the internet. Rather than what I've seen in the past or heard about in the past, which is, here's a bunch of words, go read them, check the box, you get your certificate. What we do is we try to really educate you. And so with your loan originators, we take and I interview experts on what's going on right now in the marketplace. All of our classes are updated every single year to make sure we're delivering the freshest content. And so I'm interviewing the Department of Justice, I'm interviewing the FTC, the CFPB, the different state regulators, NMLS. I'm doing that constantly, and those who will actually come on camera with me, we're dropping those into our CE. So what we want to be more is a media company than a training company. People will watch media, they'll watch videos, they'll listen to the radio, they'll listen to podcasts. They don't do a lot of reading. So what we like to do is just deliver it in a way that most people are going to be able to pick it up. So everything we do online has got some humor in it, it's got some really deep information, and then again, it gives you what it takes to be compliant in this crazy marketplace. Everything's changing. this year. This is 2012. We can't really sit around anymore and just hope nobody examines our office to find out what we're doing. The biggest things we see right now are policies and procedures are being required. We're seeing that ongoing training is being required. And then we see that you need to follow up and enforce on your policies and the training that you've done. And so as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau comes in and starts doing examinations, we anticipate a lot of that being looking at your guidelines that you've set for your company and how you've communicated those effectively. So we partner with you to make sure you communicate them in the way that people are actually going to learn. So what I want to do now is just walk you through a couple of the videos that we show in our internet class so that you can get an idea for what that feels like. Now, obviously, every internet class we do that is NMLS has to have, every 5 minutes you got to have a break and the, click and all that stuff. But what we're going to show you to do is we're going to show you the raw footage of what we do within that environment. So anyway, check this out, and then I'll come back and we'll have a short conversation, and then we'll head out. All right, this first clip I want to show you is Kirsten Anderson from the state of Oregon. I interviewed her. This was in our Oregon Continuing Education. We've interviewed her in 2011, again in 2012, so we keep current information for those Oregonians who need the continuing education. Interesting. Are you seeing now, I know that mainly we think about loan originators getting licensed, but within the state of Oregon, and really with any state, an insurance company needs a license to originate loans. A now manufactured home person needs a license. So can you speak to that? Are you seeing those guys?
Well, we saw a lot of them to begin with. So really right now we just see sort of a almost flat line in overall license numbers. We've seen a lot of the smaller shops close up and become part of larger companies. So that's where we see the increase in numbers. But for the most part, overall licensing has been very flat. There is still some areas where people are slow to get the message that a license is required, and it's usually in the outlying areas. For instance, it used to be if you were selling a home you owned, you didn't have to have a license. Well, now the exemption is down to just selling the home you live in. Doesn't require a license if you're going to do seller carry. But if you're selling a non-owner occupied home, there's no exemption. You would have to get a license in order to do seller carry, or go through a licensed company to handle the arranging of the loan for you.
Okay, so that's shocking. So,
yes.
and I try to not be shocked. I try to do my research, but what you just said is that if I bought up 10 properties because they were on sale, and I want to move those properties on seller contract, even if I want to move one of those properties on seller contract, I need a license?
You need a license, or you need to use someone who is licensed to do it for you.
So somebody else has got to provide the seller financing?
No, what they have to do is do the contact with the borrower, the taking of the borrower's information and explaining the terms of the loan back to them. You personally can still be the one to provide the funds, whether it's in the form of the house itself as the seller carry, or actually providing cash for them to buy some other home. The difference now is that that person who's talking with the borrower has to have that license unless the seller carry is on their primary residence.
Do you think they're doing that?
No.
Oh.
I've had this conversation. We've sent letters to a couple of people where we found this sort of situation going on, and there's always been simply a lack of knowledge. This was allowed for many, 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 many years, and then all of a sudden it changed. And it's easy for us to get that word out to the people who are clearly commercially in this business of making loans. It's much harder to find those 1 and 2 people who maybe have a few rentals and now want to sell them off, and perhaps to people who need some financing assistance.
That was Kirsten. Now you can see it's pretty laid back, and she delivers some really solid information. Secondly, what I want to show you is one of our experts who is the Department of Justice, and an interview we did with them, same type of format. I just want you to see some of the things that we're delivering to the loan originators out there.
And in this day and age, with the internet, with the fraud blogs that are out there, the information about a bad loan originator or bad mortgage broker, when someone does something wrong, the information is out there instantly, it's disseminated instantly and widely. And so do be careful. It's not like in the old days there'd be one person who would just be shouting into the wind. Now, if you do something that is wrong, then people will talk about it and it will come back to you.
Well, I guess I have one more question. When people get arrested, we're all watching. All the mortgage industry. Every time somebody gets arrested, we're like, oh my gosh, what happened? We jump all over it. Every now and then we'll see one that's got like multiple counts of fraud. I mean, just really egregious actions, and we'll see the guy get like 2 years, and the industry's going, we want 30 years, hang him. We're all shouting. Why sometimes do they get such low sentences?
Well, I think there used to be a mindset that prison time, and consider prisons cost a lot of money, and judges want to reserve the most serious sanctions for the people who are committing the most violent offenses, the murderers, the rapists, the people who are out and really doing physical harm to people. These days, I believe the mindset is changing. I think judges are getting the idea that property crimes, financial crimes, fraud crimes affect a wide variety of people and ruin a lot of people's lives. When you look and see what happened to Bernie Madoff and the sentence that he received, when you see instances in which, sure, some people get 2 or 3 years, but other instances in which people who have committed fraud, mortgage fraud, are getting life sentences, multiple life sentences, triple-digit sentences, that's something that you're actually seeing these days as people get the understanding that property crimes are serious. And I think there's been a real sea change in the seriousness that society is viewing this type of behavior.
Okay, let's have some fun. Finally, I want to give you a video that we did. Now, we have been teaching ethics for, 8 years now. And in teaching ethics, sometimes people can get bored of, what is morality and it gets to be a pretty big argument and can be fairly dull when you get into the philosophers and all that stuff, which I've taught. But what we decided this year is we would create this family called the avocados, or avocados. And that family goes to get a loan. What we have the originators do is watch the video of them getting a loan, and then we have them comment on what laws were broken, what was done incorrectly. And then in the quiz, we ask them some questions about whether they can and can't do certain things. It's a different way of teaching. We use this avocado skit in our continuing education online, as well as our continuing education that is live. So check this out and see what you think.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, he's here. He's here.
It's cooler than mother-in-law's love out there. Hey, sweetie. Can't get enough of her. I brought your Oreos in.
Oh, thank you, Squirrel.
I'm Dave.
Dave, I'm Billy.
Hey, Billy. Nice to meet you.
Billy.
Have a seat.
Okay.
Yeah. And you go ahead and sit right up there. All right. So, Bonnie Ray and Billy Avocado, right?
Avocado.
Oh,
Yeah.
Avocado, huh?
Yeah.
Is that like German or Polish or something like that?
I don't know.
It's a strong name.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Avocado, I understand you guys are looking to purchase a new house. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We're going to get
Nice.
ourselves a home.
Do you guys know what kind of neighborhood you're looking in?
Oh, yeah. Nice ones.
Very nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, because just so you know, there's a lot of seedy neighborhoods around. If you know what I mean.
I
Oh,
bet.
yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Billy, what do you do for a living?
I'm self-employed.
Yeah.
Self-employed. All right. What do you do?
Well, it depends on the year.
All right. And how long have you been self-employed?
Well,
A really long time, right?
yeah, I had to take care of my mom when my dad left, and
Yeah.
so since as long as I can remember.
Okay. All right. And you guys claim that on your taxes?
We're good through like,
2006?
I think 6, and
Yeah.
then it's been busy, but we're good through 6.
Okay.
At least.
We're going to catch up.
Okay. Well, we'll figure that out. Yeah, don't have to worry about that right now.
Now, if you're live, you're getting some of the videos like the avocados. What we do in that environment is we have them watch the video, we break them into groups, we have them have a full discussion about what they saw and then what should have been done differently. Also, it's on the internet so that people can actually go on, watch the videos, make those comments. One of the things that really separates us is this year we've launched in 2012 completely different perspective on education. By that I mean the internet is really set up so that it's really one-way delivery method. We're delivering information through the internet, and then the loan originator watches the video, watches the information that we provide, and then they go ahead and take the quizzes, make sure they paid attention. That's internet. For some people, they love internet. They're big internet delivery people. They like to do it in the comfort of their own home or at their office. What we do live is way different. So this year we've really launched a more experience-based event. So we're not, bringing everybody in for 8 hours and just lecturing to them for 8 hours. What we do is we bring them in, and half the class is discussions and case studies. So we can actually deliver the information, and then we all talk about what in the world, just went on in that scenario. We bring live experiences. So we'll grab somebody who just got busted, just got sent to jail. We'll look at what they did wrong so that people can actually see that there is a negative impact of the things that you may think you're able to slide by with. And so we've created this experience mainly because a lot of our clients are corporations who want to bring everybody together and really do that bonding experience. And so we have the live experience so that people can come together, bond in that environment, and then what we recommend is doing that with an event after it for a nighttime type event. And that way you kind of build off of that compliance and have a lot more teamwork, team building type stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing. One final thought for you, and I want to leave you with this. I was very honored this year. We were asked to speak at the NMLS User Conference. Now this is the CSBS, Conference of State Bank Supervisors, putting on a conference for educators, compliance officers, licensing experts, and industry regulators. We go every year because this is a great event, but I was asked to speak this year on a panel with Rich Madison and Pete Marks. And the reason I was asked to speak is because our survey results are stellar. People who take our classes come back and go, not only did I learn, but I had a blast. And that's our typical response. And so they wanted me to go and share what we do that makes it different, that provides that experience, the fun, the interaction, how we use video in our training. And it was truly an honor to be able to be, on that panel with these guys, to be able to share that information. They asked me if I feared sharing the information with my competitors. My answer was clearly no. What we provide is different than what anybody can provide. We bring humor and we bring depth of knowledge from one industry expert who's delivering that information. So that's how we're different. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and email us at info@brokerknowledge.com. You could check with Gwen, who's Gwen@brokerknowledge.com, Yvonne at brokerknowledge.com. Those two can help you out as well. I'm going to end with a quick video. Check this out. It just introduces our team. But thanks for listening. Check out our team. This is Gwen Gibbs. Gwen, meet the people. This is Gwen Gibbs. She is our National Sales Director.
Hi, everybody.
And she's ready for you. She's Gwen@brokerknowledge.com. So shoot her an email, call her, text her, 208-283-5343. Did I do that right?
208-283-5343.
Not bad. And so anyway, get in touch with her to book Ken Perry and Broker Knowledge Group for your training and your CE. Next up, Yvonne McNeil. Yvonne is the details of the organization. Many of you have already dealt with her, so I wanted you to meet her. This is Yvonne McNeil, and we call her the details. Finally, we have the money. Pam Herman is the money. And this, Pam actually will be calling you for your, to pay us. And then also, if you don't pay us, she comes after you with various different weapons and that type of stuff.